Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you knit, sometimes you find that the content you watch is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and you've only been watching videos and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today's episode we are going to continue working with the Mimi Cardigan from Wool and the Gang. It's the Jolie Mimi Cardigan, and as you can see I haven't gotten far because I haven't really knit with this since the last filming of the segment where we worked on it. So this is part 2 I think now. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure this is part 2 working on this guy here, and I have been working on the other blanket, off and on, the swoop beanie still, and that's kind of where I am right now. I have decided not to start anything new until I've gotten further along in those projects that I wanted to give as gifts for the friend of my partner's who's going to be expecting a baby girl. I think she may have already had the baby, and then the hat the hat is going to a friend of mine, and we haven't even met up yet this year for last year's we weren't even really going to exchange gifts, but I had planned to knit her something this year because I knit her something last year and just wanted to keep that going. So I'm almost done with the swoop beanie. I might have another 2 rounds of the group of 4 knitting that I have to do before I can start decreasing on that one. So it's moving along. So we'll get right into this one, and I am knitting very early in the day because I'm avoiding doing some work. I have taxes to do and I'm not too thrilled about that, and I have a proposal. I have a presentation to work on for something. It's job related, but it's not necessarily related to my job. And it's something about not wanting to mess it up. This is the first time I'll be presenting to this group. I don't know who they are. I have a prompt and I just don't want to do anything weird or wrong. And usually when I'm presenting, it's to my staff at a meeting or to some people who really are there just to listen to me and kind of are just there just to be there and not super invested in what I have to say. So this group is actually going to be very, very attentive to what I say, what I do, the flow, the information that I'm providing. So it's a pretty big deal for me, and it's not like I hate public speaking. That is very much anxiety inducing to me. Even when I'm presenting it in front of my staff or meeting, I have everything down that I want to talk about, but I still kind of get a little bit nervous just because, and it's not even they're gonna judge me because it's not they know what I'm talking about. They're just there to learn. So it's very weird, and I'm sure I know I'm not the only person in the world with this kind of fear of judgment, of messing up, but at the same time I've had almost a month to prepare for this, and I have to present next Monday. So not this upcoming Monday. Today's Sunday, I'm filming this. Not tomorrow, but the following Monday I have to do this. And thankfully it's one of the first things I'm doing that day, so I just get it out of the way. But at the same time, I wish I had some coffee or something to kind of just, you would think it'd make me jittery, but it's kind of soothing just to kind of have my receptors on the ready, alert, ready to go, and hopefully I have something to hold on to, a pointer to kind of get my nerves, because I've presented before on different things. Even at a previous job I had a presentation to do and everyone was just kind of there, but this time it's they're actually paying attention. So it's a different world, and it's funny because I'm gonna have to be, depending on how things go, this might be a regular thing in my life, and I just have to kind of just put my big girl pants on and get over it. But at the same time, I was like, ugh. So I've been doing almost everything else in the world except for working on this presentation, because I have like my prompt. I know what I'm going to talk about. I know it pretty much like the back of my hand. Like, it's not that big a deal, but the fact that I have like a time limit, I have a feeling I'm just going to speed right through everything, and then they're going to be like, wow, this girl is pathetic. But I don't know. There's a first time for everything. Worst case scenario is it just doesn't go very well, but that's okay, because that's how life is sometimes. And then best case scenario is that I rock it and everyone's like, wow, she's killing it up there, and we're really intrigued and we want to know more about this person and want to ask her questions and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. If you see me with like puffy eyes next week, I actually am taking the day off after, just to kind of like recharge from all of this. So that Tuesday, you might see a video from me, because it's just that big of a deal, and I don't want to, yeah, it's that big of a deal to me that I just need a day of rest afterwards, and I don't want to like overspend my energy in that sense, because it's going to be like a long day of stuff. And this is good practice too, because I was actually thinking about doing more work like this at conferences and stuff, just sharing my experiences in the field, and hopefully inspiring other people to go along the same route. And depending on where I go in my career, it might be like a regular thing where presenting at conferences and stuff, or doing presentations and webinars, lectures, is just kind of part of my life. But to get to that point, I have to take that step forward, get out of my comfort zone, and do something that is kind of scary. So that's where I am right now. What did I do yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday. I kind of moped around preparing for today, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna open my presentation, I'm gonna lay out my agenda, and I'm gonna wash my hair, go to bed. And I ended up just doing I opened the presentation, didn't lay anything out on it, washed my hair, still went to bed. So I missed like a big chunk of the rest of the day where I had planned to kind of just knock it out. So I do this to myself a lot, where if I'm worried about something, I'll just push it off, because I don't want to mess it up, and then two, I'm just dreading like actually sitting down and doing something like that. That's not the funnest thing to me, especially if I'm not getting paid for it, because this is like something else, like I said, job related but not quite job related. So it's not something I could do like while I'm at work getting paid to do it. So it's a bit different for me, and part of that motivation is that I have to take time out of my free time to do this, and what little free time I have, I usually just like to chill. But yeah, other than that, I did some laundry, got quite a bit of it done, and I've been washing some clothes that I hadn't planned on wearing, just so they're fresh when I donate them. So, maybe Tuesday you guys are going to see me working on cleaning up some of my closet space, because I have a lot of shoes and clothes that I have acquired. I did a purge early winter, kind of late summer of last year, but I hadn't really touched everything. I kind of just cleaned out one section, one little closet, and I have a whole other slew of stuff that I hadn't even looked at yet, and it had been a long time since I looked at it. So definitely need to clean out some stuff, because I actually bought more clothes recently. I wanted to get some more professional wear, and the rack, like Nordstrom rack, I looked online, because I don't know, I don't always have the best of luck finding like a good selection of plus size clothing that I like just in store. And some stores I really like don't carry their plus sizes in store, which kind of sucks. So I look online a lot, and then when I find something I like, I buy it if it's on sale. And Nordstrom Rack was having like pretty good deals on a lot of their discounted stuff, so I was able to swoop up quite a few items and saved a ton of money on things that I already had my eye on. So instead of just wearing t-shirts all day, which I love to do, I got some like more fancy, well, they're not like fancy blouses, but like chiffon-y type blouses, some very neutral patterns and things, and not like anything super crazy that I would normally wear, just to kind of refresh my professional wardrobe. Because I do wear a lot of stuff that is comfy and kind of casual, but it could kind of go for like a day at brunch with a friend, or maybe a day at work, and I kind of wanted more things to distinguish, like these are clearly my work clothes and these are clearly like my hang around with my friends and do cool stuff on the weekend clothes. And I'm like thinking like, oh man, when I get to retire, I'm gonna do like my aunt did and just like give away all of my work clothes, because she gave me a lot of like her work outfits and some shoes, because we're about the same size shoe. She's kind of like a 8.5, 9 depending, and I'm more like an 8, 8.5 depending on the fit and the style of shoe. So I was trying on a lot of her stuff, but she also sold a lot, and they do like a yard sale every year in the cul-de-sac like of the housing development that my parents live in. And I kind of got to get a sneak preview before everything else went out the last time I was in town, so that was nice. But my style has changed a lot. Well, kind of, sort of. Like, I used to be super, super tomboy growing up, like, only wore sneakers, only wore jeans and t-shirts, and I still kind of am that way, but I've been more into flats. I used to have, like, this girly phase where I loved high heels, but I would do a lot of walking, and they're not conducive to walking. Now, some high heels I have that are very comfy, but they're like a low heel, super cushiony, chunky heel, supportive, kind of like, I wouldn't want to say, but something that I wouldn't think I would wear at this age that I'm in, and it'd be maybe for something when I'm older I would find more taste of, but hey, they're comfy, they're cute, I like them. But in general, I usually wear loafers or flats at work, or like a dressier sneaker. But then sometimes I don't care, because they don't really care at my job either, and I can wear jeans, I can wear just a nice cardigan. I usually try to mix and match a little bit of casual with a little bit of professional, but to have just strictly, this is what I'm wearing on a fancy day, I have a meeting, I have a conference, somebody's on campus who's like really special, whatever, kind of just depends on what's going on. So, okay, this is getting slinky. So, you guys may have noticed from now if you, well maybe not, if you decided to check out this pattern yourself on Wool and the Gang's site, you'll notice that different colorways of it advertised have like a different knit. And I thought, so I think the first image on the site is like this gray one, and the knit is really tight. And I'm like, am I using the wrong needles? And I looked, and no, I'm using US size 11. That's what the pattern calls for. And when I looked at the original photo when the pattern first came out, like it was a very loose, like airy, oh my god, what did I just do? Oh, there, see? Ah! Oh, Lord! Okay, oh, Jesus. Hold on a moment. This is real life. I'm not gonna cut out. You're gonna see how much of a klutz I am. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Why did I do that? Okay, am I gonna save it? I think. Something. Okay, something happened. Something happened on the last one. What was I doing? Oh, this should be a knit. Okay. Yeah, that should be a knit. Alright. Okay. Okay, so you see, I'm gonna be a little careful. I'm gonna hold this in because that's smarter. It's a very loose knit, and the original picture did show it very loose, but some of the new photos look like it's a tight knit, but I am using the right gauge knitting needle, or the right size knitting needle, so I don't know why some of them are tight, but then when I looked at the tight ones, I kind of like those better. So I'm super confused now, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. So, but yeah, let me know if you looked at the pictures and thought it was a little weird that some of them have different gauge, like different tensions it looks like, on depending on the color that was knit. And I'm confused by that, but I'm just gonna keep going and see what happens. Oh, so I twisted my needle. Some of my loops, when I was trying to save it, got twisted. So now when I go back to where I was, I need to be careful. I should be careful anyway, but even more so. There we go. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. This would be probably a reason why using bamboo needles would be better for this kind of project, because metal's slippery and there's this like a loose knit, because this is like a worsted weight yarn, and I'm using US 11, which is big needle, so I'm getting like this really loose knit, so there's not really much that the needles can hold on to because everything's just kind of floating around, and that's where we are. So I had to do my taxes too, and I thought I was going to do that today, do the project yesterday, and now I don't know what I'm going to do today. I mean, I had to do my project no matter what, but I still have a whole week. But at the same time, I said that last week, and I'm like, oh, I have 2 weeks now. I can do my rough draft and then do my practicing and add my content to it later, and then just do my practice the weekend before and be done with it. But I came home, and I would just kind of lounge around, going to bed like a normal person around, I think the latest I was up last week during the week was like 2 a.m., which was good for me because I had a stint where I couldn't go to sleep. I'd get home and I just wouldn't want to go to bed, and I'd stay up really late, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have to be up at like 6:30 or so, maybe push it to 7 if I was just strictly just getting up and getting out of bed and going to work. But I was dying at work. I would get tired. I would just feel so foggy, and I'd get home and I'd go to bed like as soon as I finished eating, but then I'd wake up again because I literally fell asleep in my chair in my on my office at my desk, and then I'd be up again. So I had to like just force myself to go to bed, and I'd go to bed early and just stay in bed. And I'm like, nope, I'm just going to bed. I'm just staying here. And I kind of helped reset my weird kick of staying up at ungodly hours. But at the same time, I just didn't want to stay up late to put in the work for this project. And when I got home, I just didn't want to do anything that required me to use my brain because I've been so burnt out at my job. So it's been crazy. And I'm like, oh, I could take this on the train with me? No way, Jose. This is a dangerous project. This is going to be staying here, no crazy travel. And one of my coworkers was like, I want to see the cardigan. And I was like, yeah. And that was before I just almost lost all my stitches, so no. And maybe she'll see it when it's done. When I wear it to work, then she'll get to see it. And she's actually working on a pattern, and she keeps messing up on it. So I'm hoping she'll remember to bring it in so I can take a look, because I want to try it and see if I can mess up too. Not that I want to, but see where she's messing up. Because I think what's happening is she's doing like I'm doing right now, and she's like either talking to somebody, watching a show, and she's getting distracted because she said it was really simple, like 3 different types of stitches, like 3 different rows repeating. And I'm like, okay, well that can't be too bad. And this isn't bad. This is just knitting and purling. But my blanket that I'm working on, that one's trickier because I have to count how many stitches I'm doing until I change things in a row. So the odd row is trickier. The even row is pretty easy because you could just easily see, you know, oh, here's a yarn over, so I need to knit through the back, and then knit, knit, knit. Oh, here's another yarn over, I need to knit through the back. But the odd rows are not quite the same. Oh, okay. I have 7 minutes left with you guys. Let's see, can I do one more without having a conniption? And this is literally why I say this is not a tutorial. You do not want to rely on me for any kind of guidance because I am a spaz. And things don't always go the way they should. And you'd think by now I would have it together, but nope. Nope. Alright, so this is a knit, so I need to purl my first one. Something about purling the first, I just don't like how it looks. But this just on the end looks all crazy anyway because of how loose it is. So when I have to sew it together, I'm very curious how this is gonna look all together seamed up because I am having some troubles. I don't know if that's outside or if that's my partner. They're watching like The Pick of Destiny. If you are familiar with Tenacious D, it's well, I'm so sad. I know Jack Black, and I don't know the other guy, but they used to be, I guess they still tour, I'm not even sure, but they would make all these like power rock songs and things, and then they made a movie, and I think they had a show too once at some point, and they kind of have like a cult following, and my partner is one of those cult members. Ooh, can I even say that? I don't think I can say that. Same with like Jay and Silent Bob. We went to the movie that just came out at the screen. Well, it wasn't a screening. It was like a premiere, like special. We had to buy special tickets. They only had a couple showings, and they were, oh my gosh, if you saw the crowd, it was literally just like a bunch of guys who all look like they would absolutely love Jay and Silent Bob or Kevin Smith. Like, it was literally just like a bunch of Kevin Smith movie references and things, and I was just out of my element there. Like, wow, this is like probably like going to the Kevin Smith show movie thing was probably the equivalent of my partner going to like a cat convention with me, or a knitting convention with me, or a yarn shop where they're just like, I can't relate to any of these people and I feel so weird and out of place. And I kind of felt like that when we went to the theater to watch that movie, but to each their own. Let me know, are you a fan of anything other than yarn? Maybe even other than cats, if that is also something that you enjoy. I'm curious to know what other kinds of followings there are. I wouldn't say I'm like an anime or manga fanatic, but I do enjoy it. I don't watch as much anime as much as I used to, but I do read a lot. That's kind of what my book club consists of, is reading manga. So it's easy because it's fast, and I really gravitated to reading manga more into my adult life because I just don't always have that much time to dedicate to like a full novel. But some picture books, hey, I get just as much information out of them, and depending on the genre and the storyline, I can follow along, and I have just enough reading that I feel satisfied, but I also have visual content, which is always fun, and it's a bite-sized commitment than like busting out a chapter book. At least to me, I feel like it's easier to digest because then I can devote more time to either relaxing and doing nothing where I don't require any mental stimulation, or I can continue to knit. So we are coming up on the last bit here, and I just have enough time to give you guys a farewell. But as you can see, it's a struggle bus over here with the knitting, and give me some good vibes. I'm hoping that everything goes well next Monday, and you'll probably hear from me before then because I still have a whole Sunday and Saturday before the big deal on Monday to chat with you guys and just kind of put myself at ease. But I have so much other things going on that I would like to share with you, but I kind of have to wait to find out what's happening with that before I can really give you any news. But I will say I do really appreciate that you guys are sticking with me as I figure out my film schedule after all of the craziness and all the other things I have going on. But it's always nice to know that you guys are here and ready to watch when I have a new upload. So thank you so much for sticking through the end of this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye!